Welcome to another pick a card reading. Today we're going to figure out what sort of changes are coming your way, whether it is something on the daily or something on a larger scale. So if you're new here, all you have to do is choose one of these two piles. You can watch both of them if that's what you're called to do. And if you're having a hard time choosing, if your attention isn't being pulled by one of them, you can close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself internally, what changes are coming my way? Take another deep breath, and when you open your eyes, wherever your eyes were being pulled at, that will be your pile. So the timestamps are down in the description box below. You can just click on whichever group you chose, and you will be taken to your reading. So I will see you there. Welcome, pile 1, to your group. Let's see what changes are coming your way. You have self-love. It feels like there's going to be some insight or some pull where you're going to see or realize, let's say, something about yourself, or maybe you're just going to acknowledge everything you've been through, knowing that you were there for yourself even if no one else was. And that sort of realization is going to, I'm hearing, birth love into you for yourself. And that is beneficial because you can't depend on other people for them to fuel you with love. It's something that already has to be in you. And yes, other people can help build it up. They can help you see that side of you and uncover that side of you. But you also have to do that for yourself. Because you can't wait around for someone to awaken that. You have to awaken that. You have to be the one to see it. Connecting with your inner self as well. Maybe the change that is coming is you finally sitting down and meditating, connecting with your center, awakening that divine part of you. Take off your mask. That's interesting, just the difference between these two. So you're going to start shedding away the persona that doesn't serve you anymore. The persona that was all about the ego, pride, right? Maybe you lied about who you were. Maybe you tried to live a type of lifestyle that really didn't even serve you, right? So you're slowly shedding all that away. Because those masks, it wasn't built on love, on appreciation, on truth. It was built on something darker. And it's okay to have like a healthy dose of ego, but the mask that you wore possibly was the extreme kind. If you were, let's say, a content creator, that could look like trying to create a sort of lifestyle that others portray as wealthy and, lucky, but really you weren't even living that lifestyle. You rented out those places, you rented out those cars, you bought the clothes but then returned it, right? So it was all false. And that false identity, it messes up with your mind, because then what you're attracting into your life is toxicity, is lies. You start to attract people that end up lying to you. You start to attract experiences that end up failing. Why? Because you were pulling in things that weren't genuine because you weren't genuine. So now you're starting to see. Now you prefer and want to be in that space of genuine and honesty, so that you connect with something deeper, something more honest, something more truthful. Okay, so other changes coming your way is either a change in the workplace, or perhaps you're going to go back to school or take a course. Also, a direction in your path. You're going to choose something that either you always wanted to do, or you're going to shift course because you realize that something that you were doing or you were working on really doesn't satisfy you anymore. Or maybe it was someone else's dream that you were fulfilling, something that you felt you were obligated to do, but now you realize this isn't my path. Okay, so some sort of change in direction in your life is coming your way. Connect with animals. Animal spirit guides, healing, past pets. For someone, even though this isn't a changed message, but your pet wants to let you know that they're still with you, that they still see you grieving and thinking about them, but they want you to know that they're okay, that they're healthy, they're happy, they're vibrant, they're truly okay. They just imagine them as just moving away, right? They moved to a better location, somewhere where you can't come yet, but they're living their best life. Okay? So you don't have to grieve them anymore. You can let it go, you can let them be, but know that they're still with you. And perhaps this was the change, or is going to be the change that occurs. Perhaps a pet will be moving on. But just know that this isn't something that of course you can control, but it's something that they decided that it's time, and you have to respect that. Okay, death doesn't happen by accident. It is a decision between the spirit and the higher source. Okay, it has already been planned. It has already been agreed upon. Sure, you can try to help someone when they're in need, if something, an emergency case happened. But if it's time to go, then it's time to go. And you have to respect that decision and allow them to move on. Because when you're grieving, it prevents them from moving on to wherever they need to be. It keeps them close to you, but they're restless because they don't belong here. I'm also hearing to not look for them, but notice the signs when an animal crosses your path or you see an animal. And it might not be an animal that you see daily. Like if your area, let's say, has a lot of specific type of birds and you see them daily, that doesn't have to be a sign. Unless maybe there's something that, like maybe they act strange that one day. But it's mostly a type of animal that you don't see often that suddenly comes across your path. Whether you see it in the air or it runs across the road or whatever it is. Whichever animal that was, check what they mean spiritually so that you know what possible change might be coming in for you. Back to basics. Okay, so you are simplifying your life. It says simplify, reduce, and center, which is interesting because I mentioned meditation at the beginning of this, and that's what meditation does to you. It centers you. It helps you connect with your true self, the self that goes beyond what your education system has built on you, what your parents, what your friends, society has built on you, or even your own mind. Meditation goes to the root of who you truly are. It is the spirit self. Okay, so that is what you're going to start tuning into. And simplifying your life, that means purging, reducing waste, or removing things that doesn't resonate with you anymore. Even clothes, right? When you're wearing clothes that you truly resonate with, the type of style, color, everything, you feel your best. But when you're wearing clothes that doesn't resonate, maybe you grew out of the style, maybe you don't like the color or what's written on the shirt, whatever it is, you start to dull yourself down and you don't feel your best. Okay, so go through, especially now before spring comes, take the time to truly purge within every room of your home, every drawer, every closet, everything. And don't just look through it and just take out what you don't want. You have to dump the contents of it on the floor, on your bed, on your table, wherever. Because you have to see those items in a new environment where they don't, or like aren't usually found in, so that you then have a better like view of what these things are, what you don't need, want, or whatever, right? And then do that for every location in your home. Take the time, one room at a day if you have to, so that you don't overwhelm yourself. But purging now is the best thing to do, so that after you've completed your entire house and maybe cleansed it with sage or whatever type of herb you have, you can then relax and welcome spring, which is the new year, with a more simplified life, a simplified and cleansed surrounding and environment, right? Maybe you moved your furniture around so that even the space feels new. That way you are welcoming new opportunities in, because new and fresh starts cannot come in if your surrounding and your environment is overwhelmed with clutter. Okay? So that is another change that is coming in for you. Simplifying, reducing, purging, starting to understand that the new year, new me thing doesn't happen unless you take accountability and actually make the changes. Open to love, relationships, passion, fulfillment. How interesting. So you got self-love and being open to love, which could be a chain reaction, right? Once you start to open yourself up to the possibility that you are worth something, that you love yourself, that you love the fact that you've been able to survive so many things. You always picked yourself up, right? You are a warrior. Removing those identities that don't serve you, that you are not these things, right? Starting to make a change in your life, in your career, education, whatever it is. Starting to purge and even connect with the nature, the identity of nature. So whether that is going outside and connecting with forests or bodies of water, just sitting there watching, right? Watching the animals scurry around or fly around, purging and simplifying your life, that eventually opens the door to something beautiful, right? Being defined in who you are and opening yourself up to the idea of someone special walking in, someone that connects and resonates with your spirit, your vibe. Oh, how interesting. These are the same cards that came out, I believe, yesterday when I did the message of the day on my Instagram. So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, every single morning I post a message of the day so that you're aware of the message that the day will be about. And I believe these two cards came out yesterday, so it's interesting that they came out today. So the changes that are coming in for you is literally a different path in your life. Because you were so set on living this one way where maybe you talked bad about yourself, maybe you talked down to yourself, whatever it may be, and now you're choosing to remove that negativity, remove that mask, that false identity, and you're trying to not just uplift yourself, but live in this genuine and authentic identity of who you truly are. And deep down, what you truly are is the pure essence of love. Okay? Your soul being is a piece of the true source, creator, God, whatever you want to call it. Okay, it is a piece of that. If you can imagine an orb of light, and then a piece of that orb disconnects, but it's never fully disconnected. It just sort of individualizes itself, and that becomes the spirit, the you that you truly are, which then enters a physical body and, activates it so that it can function in this world. But your true identity is source. This is why I don't take part in any religion, because they always teach you to look outside of yourself to find God, right? You have to go to church and trust in this human person that is telling you these things when all the answers are literally inside of you. You are a piece, a source of God, of Creator. Therefore, you are the Creator. You are here to create, to remember your true identity. Okay, so it feels like there is this shift in your path, this change that is coming, that will be moving forward. And a good way to actually connect to that change and that divine essence as well, not just through meditating, but also with the Hierophant here, is to pull away from the physical world and put your attention into creation. Okay, into creating something. And the best form of that, of course, is art. And there are so many branches of art that you can take part in. It's not just painting or drawing, okay? Art comes in many different forms. It can be literature, it can be clay, it can be painting murals, graffiti, crafts, like digital art, so basically 3D art. Or when I say digital, I know that today's time you usually typically think about AI. I'm not talking about AI. Digital art is art as well when you are actually, doing it. So 3D photo manipulations, digital painting, digital drawing, retouching. Even if you have an eye for photography, modeling, and I'm not talking about like industry modeling where they're basically torturing these girls, but like if you want to express yourself through, photos by modeling, all of this is creation because it is expression. AI will never be art because it is not an expression of you. You're not creating something yourself where your soul is being infused with what you're doing. You're just writing a prompt and pressing enter. That is why AI will never be art. Okay, so try to look into every type of art style, medium, whatever it is, and see where you gravitate to, what pulls at you, what looks interesting, and try it out for a week. See how you feel about it. Look at tutorials, see how other people are doing it and creating it, and try to really get into it. When you zone into something that you're totally passionate about, that's when your heart is happiest the most. That's where you're starting to truly connect with your soul. Okay, so another change that is coming is something that might not, um, it might not happen fast. It will be kind of steady. It will be slow moving, but it will be 100% legit. Okay, so if there is something that you're working on that is sort of taking its time, don't reject it automatically. Don't think that it's going nowhere. It just might be that it is such quality that it takes more effort and more time. Okay? And underneath the deck here, you have the sun, which is positive energy, right? It is coming across something that is so magical to you, that makes you feel alive, and you get that boost of energy. Okay, let's see your final message of any advice. Okay, so you got nothing is yet set in stone. That means that you have the power to change anything in your life or about your life. You are basically just like the sea, okay? You can change the current. You can change your mood and how you think about things, how you feel about things. You can change your path in life. You have the power to do that. So nothing is ever truly set in stone. If you are going through something that you feel like is never ending, or that you feel you're always in the same loop, understand that you have the power to change it. Make a small difference. Work on something. Decide that you won't react the same way like you used to. Okay? Your other card here is don't let your past hold you back. So whatever happened to you before, whatever you went through, however people have treated you, that is not you. That isn't who you're supposed to be. That isn't what you're supposed to become or focus on. You are your own person. You decide who you are. You write your narrative. You write your life, your future. Okay, so whatever happened before, don't let that limit you. Okay, so group 1, I hope any of this resonated with you. I hope that you take the accountability and make the appropriate changes in your life so that you finally start to see better things manifest for you, because you have that power in your own hands. Okay, your decisions, your actions, the choices you make, all of that goes into your future and how you will experience things. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to be updated for more, and it also helps these messages find the people that need them. All the links to my socials and how you can support me and where you can get a personal reading, all of that will be down in the description box below. And I will see you guys next time. Hello, group 2. And welcome to your reading. So let us see what changes are coming in for you guys. Courage. Okay. So if you have been feeling weak for a long time, the change that is coming in for you is that you will find strength. This sort of energy feels like there's been a lot of darkness in your life, maybe throughout your life or maybe just recently. But it seems like you you come to the point where you just have enough, right? You had enough, and you don't want to be living as you have, right? You don't want to be living in fear, where you are negative or hateful, or just feeling hopeless in some way. It's like you wake up one day and think, I can't live like this anymore. I had enough. I need to start making these changes. Okay, it's that sort of energy. Remember who you are. Culture, resilience, beliefs. And it's interesting with the bear here, right? Bears, they sort of represent strength. So it's telling you, remember who you are beyond whatever happened to you, beyond the people that did something to you or act some way towards you. Remember who you are beyond all that. Because even if you grew up with a shitty situation, toxic environment, toxic people, you still know and remember a time deep down where you were, let's say, a kid full of imagination, where you were a little more carefree, right? There were moments, there had to be some moments where you forgot that toxic environment, and for that one moment felt what it was like to be happy and excited, right? Maybe it was a birthday, or maybe you weren't even at home, maybe you were spending some time with friends. Whatever it was, that is who you truly are, right? That innocence, and adults could be innocent as well. They could connect to that innocent side of themselves where you're more carefree and full of wonder, where you daydream, where you're not afraid to dream big, right? All of that is rooted in innocence. It's like in that moment, you don't take yourself too seriously. You don't take life seriously. You're just expanding your mind to something bigger and daydreaming about things that excite you, right? So have the courage to dream big, to have hope. Don't dull yourself down because of what happened to you or how people have treated you. Because remember that hurt people. Okay, they hurt you because they were the ones that were broken down. They were the ones that didn't follow their dreams, and now they're preventing you from doing the same so that you can join their toxic club. And then one day you can just relay that to your next of kin, right? But you have to stop the cycle. You have to say, this is enough. It stops with me, right? So you have to have the courage and strength to rise above all that, remember who you truly are, and decide to be stronger and better. Explore your creative side. Most of these messages have come up in group 1 as well. So visualize, paint, record. And with the record, the first thing that came to mind is maybe journaling or writing, like maybe even a book about your life, right? Because maybe what you went through could help someone else. It could inspire someone because they might be in the very same situation you used to be, and by reading your book, they could gather up their own courage and strength and make something of themselves. Okay. Also, by exploring your creative side, you're also releasing what you have been holding on to. Okay, so you can do that through poetry or writing short stories or painting, drawing. Anything that connects you to your heart, to your spirit self, is going to be art. Okay, so try to, if you're not an artsy person, find a list online where you can see all the different types of art mediums and see what sort of pulls at you. Check out tutorials, look deeper into it, try it out for a week or two and see how you feel. Really get into it. Infuse your mind and your time into this craft and see how amazing it feels to really tune everything else out, zone in on this activity, and see where it takes you. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not about being perfect with it. It's about just expressing yourself. So even if you're scribbling, okay, just express it. Okay, you're going to say goodbye or shed away something that doesn't serve you anymore. There's something in your life that possibly is holding you back, something that wasn't even a part of you, but maybe you thought you'd get into it, or maybe it's those negative voices that you've been listening to, right? And now it's time to push those away and choose a different path. If you have watched The Night Before Christmas, this is the part where after he tries to take Christmas for himself, he fails miserably. The sleigh slash coffin, I guess, gets shot down, and he falls from the sky into this angel's arms inside a cemetery. And he's feeling shitty about himself. Why? Because he took part in something that wasn't his, that wasn't part of his identity, because he was trying to fill a void, right? And that's what many people do. They start to look for things to fill a void, but the very things they are trying to fill the void with actually isn't what they're looking for. Okay, a good example of that. Many years ago, when I was trying to find friends, I would go to dating sites, and while talking to these guys, I would start to realize that it's not that they're full of love and wanting to find a girlfriend or wife to share that love, but rather it's like they were there to fill this void inside of them. So I got banned from the site. Like one morning or something when I was trying to sign in, I noticed that my account doesn't exist anymore, because quite a few guys were starting to delete their accounts because they talked to me, and I made them realize that it wasn't a relationship they were in need of, but rather to find themselves, right? To heal whatever happened before, whether it was from their childhood or some ex of theirs, right? Some toxicity. And through clearing that, to find themselves, to find who they truly are, to start to go back to the interests that they took part in before, that they enjoy doing, right? So remembering who you are is important because it removes the mask, like I told group 1, it removes the mask of who you're not supposed to be. Because society, your education system, your parents, your friends, all of them sort of build this identity upon you, and you think that that's who you are, but you're not. Deep down in the middle of the night, when you're sitting alone with yourself, and that mask starts to come off, that is when you start to realize who you truly are. In the silence of things. That's why a lot of extroverts cannot sit alone with themselves. It's because they can't face themselves. They're not comfortable with their own identity. They're not comfortable with who they are. And that's why they always feel the need to move, to go out, to be around people. Okay, so the change that is coming your way is that you're going to start to see little aspects of yourself of who you're not. And as awkward or shameful or uncomfortable it may be to face that and realize it and not deny it anymore, it's going to set yourself free to become something that you're supposed to be, the real you, the honest and authentic you. Even if you start losing friends in the process because your vibe isn't going to vibe anymore. Okay, your energies are going to be different. But allow it to happen. Because when you start to get more authentic into who you truly are, that's when the real people are going to start coming in. I think the other group had this, literally the same message. I don't know why I keep doing pick-a card readings when I should just doing collective readings. Because these messages keep coming out like all the same. You got the Knight of Presents. A change that is coming in for you is not going to be fast. It's going to be slow moving because it is of quality. So this also talks about the changes that you implement in your life. You might not see the results all of a sudden. It will take time. But know that success is guaranteed. Because the Knight of Presents, that is basically the Knight of Pentacles. That card typically portrays a man or farmer, I guess, on a horse at a farm. Okay, it's not a type of horse where it races or speeds. It's a type of working horse. So things are taking more time, but they will be of quality. Okay, so the little changes you implement daily, every single day, into your life, it is collecting little by little, and eventually it will start to shift you into new experiences, into finding new people. Yes, it will take time, but it is guaranteed to be more beneficial, more rewarding for you in the end. Because anything that happens too quickly, like if you, for example, OnlyFans, right? You can get money real fast, but what are you sacrificing? What are you sacrificing, and where does it lead after? You might have a harder time finding a partner that will respect you afterwards, right? So anything of quality always takes time. Okay, so you got the Ten of Candles. You're not going to be overwhelming yourself anymore with things that don't serve you. Okay, you're going to start, with the changes you start to make, you're going to set yourself free more. You're going to be more defined in who you are. You're going to move through the world knowing your true identity, being confident in who you are, and no one can mess with that. Right? When someone, let's say, starts to say that you're weird or a loser or whatever, you know you're not. And you're going to understand that strength and courage doesn't always mean fighting or standing up for yourself. Sometimes it means walking away and being silent, because not every war needs to be fought. Okay, sometimes it takes courage to stay still or to walk away. And remember that moving in silence makes you more mysterious, because people don't know your next move. They don't know what you're into, what you're about. And that is also why sometimes they attack you, because they don't understand you. They don't know what you're doing, and that sort of freaks them out. You also got the Four of Needles. So this is a more balanced and silent mental state, right? Something that is stable. You're going to find more stability within your mind when you know who you are, when you know what you're about, when you know where you're going, where you have that focus. Remember that a lack of purpose makes you distracted easily. Okay, when you have purpose, when you have a goal, there's nothing that can distract you. Not porn, not games, not toxic people. Nothing can distract you when you have a clear focus and awareness of your true identity. Okay, so let's get a message for you. A personal issue reaches resolution. Full moon in Cancer. So this could be something tied with emotion, something emotional that you have been going through. It will reach the climax, the resolution. Okay, you will find the answer to whatever it is. And wow, you got the blue moon also, which is full, with believe in the impossible. Don't set yourself up for failure by limiting yourself because of what you went through or what other people did to you. Okay, you are worth something. If you're living here, you're worth something. You are worth to breathe the air that you do. You're worth of love. You're worthy of so much in this life. So don't allow the toxicity of others or the situations you've been through to determine who you are or what you deserve, because that is, none of it is true. Okay, so believe in the impossible and work your ass off to be better than you were before. The only person you're in competition with is you. Become the person your child self will be proud of. The type of person that would have protected them. Okay? Underneath the deck, you got prosperity lies ahead. So rewards are coming in for you as long as you do the work. Don't take these tarot readings, however many you watch them, as just something fun you move away from. Do the work and you will see the changes start to apply within your life. So group 2, that is all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Not only does it help the channel, but it also helps this message find the people it needs to. Also, check out the links down below where you can follow me on my social media, where you can find where you can support me, get a personal reading, and much more. Okay, so I wish you guys luck, and I'll see you guys next time.